Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great, except that it's raining. It's raining horrendously right now. Remember this? Remember this project that I've been working on for almost 3 years now? My two-player train game. Last year at Spielessen, I pitched this game to... I don't exactly remember how many publishers. And one of them took the prototype. Seemed pretty positive on it. They have since played the prototype several times, have evaluated it with the team, and decided to reject it. I don't. I half expected that. I half expected it. I was hopeful. I was hopeful that if they were going to reject it, they would maybe there would be some back and forth. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Maybe there would be some sort of like, hey, we like this, but we want to try something this. We want to try this. We want to try that. There was none of that, and that's okay. That not all publishers will work that way. Some want just here's the game, right? So the response that I got was we played the prototype of Rival Rails a couple of times over the past months, as it was one of the more promising games for our two-player line. Last week we had another big event where we compared the projects, and unfortunately we decided not to proceed with Rival Rails. Our biggest issue with the game was that it felt anticlimactic and that you could make a lot of money early on with your first moves, and it becomes more difficult as the game continues. We will send the prototype back to you. So I was going to wait until I received the prototype, but they're in Germany. Who knows? It might be summer by the time I see it again. This is another prototype that I made up after Essen. I still haven't tested this version. This version, I added new card abilities. I got rid of the money transactions. There was a lot of like pay to do this, pay to do that, and then you're getting money each turn, and so there was a lot of going to the bank and exchanging dollars. I cut all of the stuff out. You still earn money, which is kind of important. You still earn money through the stock market system, but all of the transactions that were these little, like gain $1 here, pay 3 there, that was just nonsense. So I cut all of that. So that feedback. So this feedback was from publisher A. This feedback was from publisher B. They are different feedback, but I think they're both correct. Getting rid of all the money transactions, I think, is the correct way of doing things. I have not tested this version. I need to test this version. But I would. The funny part about this feedback, the money thing, is that Jeff and at this point, Jeff is basically a co-designer. I mean, he's given me enough feedback that one of the problems that I had with this game early on was that there is a sort of a it worked. The economic system in this game worked counterintuitively, meaning that the more something was available, the more money you made, which is the opposite of how it really works in the real world. You know, in the real world, rarity breeds value, and in the original prototype, rarity made you less. You made less money, and it felt wrong. So we inverted the financial system, and it seemed to help. It seemed to be like, all right, this is not necessarily help, but it made it feel more correct. It made it feel more like how it's supposed to work. As the game progresses, you earn less and less money because your investments pay less and less over time. Like initially, you hit this market running and whatever. So ultimately, I could fix the anticlimax by just undoing that and going back to the not quite real world scenario. And I could explain it some other way. But ultimately, I think that while I really love this money system, it doesn't do enough for the game. It doesn't do enough that you just make money and that's it. I think the game is missing something fundamental, and I don't know what that is, and I don't know that I have any interest in finding it. I enjoy playing this game. It is, like they said, anticlimactic. You gain less and less as time goes on. Your moves become less significant in some ways. Well, less significant. Period. Like your initial moves, the first 4 turns, 5 turns, those are the biggest moves of the game, and then it just dwindles from there. And it feels weird, but you're still trying to make more than your opponent. You're still trying to do more damage or whatever you want to, earn more points. You're just doing it in smaller increments. And I think that maybe I'm chasing something that can't exist. Maybe uh, I'm chasing a version of the game that appeals to everyone, and I don't think that can exist in this for what this is. I think that this will appeal to people who play train games in a very specific way, in a very uh, calculated way, and that's it, right? Like it's going to appeal to those people who like trying to calculate the outcome of branching decisions effectively. That's who this appeals to, and that's okay. I don't think I'm going to keep working on it. I think that I will test this version and I will try to polish it. The publisher B, who suggested this version's changes, said they would take a look at it again after I made those changes. So I think I will test this version, and if it works, I will submit it to them. And if they reject it, I think I'm just done with it. I think it'll just sit, and it'll just be a product that I have, and maybe I'll make a few copies for friends that want it. But I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to continue to be a thing for me. Right now, I'm focused on writing. I don't have a whole lot of mental energy for this. I haven't been playing games at all since November. I think I've maybe played 5 or 6 games in the last 3 months. I'm just in that cycle where this isn't really super important to me. So maybe it'll come back around, but I doubt it. I doubt it will. I think I would rather cut my losses, turn this into a product that I can enjoy, put it on my shelf, and move on to something else. If game design is still going to be a part of my life, I'll find a new project to work on that has a bigger chance of success. Because let's be honest, even if I fix the money issues, if I fix the anticlimactic issues, if I turned this into what these two publishers, if I fix these issues that these two publishers defined, and I turn this into a fun game, it's still an extremely niche market within an extremely niche market. 2-player train game, it's just not, it's just never going to be worth the amount of effort I've put into it, even if I got it to work. And at this point, I've tried so many things over the 3 years that I've worked on it. I don't know that there is a way to make it work. And I think that's probably why it hasn't been done before. I think that's why people just say, you can play my game with 2, but it's really made for 3. Where instead of, I designed this tight, fun 2-player train game. For now, this prototype will go back on my shelf and sit unplayed until who knows when I'll have another chance to play test it. I got other stuff in my life right now. I haven't had time for gaming. We'll see what happens. But if I bring it back around, I'll let you know. I just thought I would inform you because you guys have seemed really interested in the project over all this time. And yeah, I have enjoyed the time I've worked on it. I think that's the other thing. Like, even if this never works, even if I never successfully publish this game, whether with a publisher or self-publish or whatever, it's not a waste. It's not that. It's not that I need valuation for my time. I got great enjoyment out of working on the game. I don't really need much. I don't need the product to be a thing. The thing for me was the journey. The journey's technically not done, and I'm never going to say that it is, but it's probably going to sit for a while before I work on it again. We shall see. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is truckle, as a verb meaning to submit obsequiously to a command. We have trained our servants to truckle to our every whim. Truckle, T-R-U-C-K-L-E. That's an interesting word, and surprising, you know, being a Marine, I didn't hear that word used in the Marine Corps when we are expected to truckle at everything.